7th Lilly Awards. This year we're celebrating and saluting activism, and Julia and I, as our first act, we cut our speech. All right, there are some things that won't appear in the correct order in the program. That's because we had to decide on the program several days ago. So don't worry about that. And I want you please to recognize previous winners of the Lilly Award. Tonight on the video screen, see, it's already begun. We have a salute to our sisters at Waking the Feminists and their protest in front of the Abbey Theater.
I really think that the time has come for everybody to look and examine and ask the question, why is it that so many women artists, creative women in the theatre, feel marginalised and excluded?
I hope that it will spark a lot of conversations and a lot of organisations looking into the way they practice and changing the way they practice. I hope it's the start of that.
An amazing buzz, isn't there? Like, there's some incredible women here, like the faces. There's some really wonderful people all supporting each other. It's a conversation we've all been having in private and smaller sectors trying to make smaller change, and now finally it's reached a very big public forum, and I think there's a lot of exciting things to come.
Yeah, just supporting women in theatre and women in the industry in general, and it's just amazing when everybody comes together, you realise that the kind of strength that's here.
A great result today will be equal access to storytelling in all our theatres. And that's what's going to happen because everybody wants it. It's the right time now.
I have never been directed by a woman in 27 years. I have done one play by a woman, a French woman, that was adapted by a man. Other than that, zero. I have never worked with a female sound designer. I have worked with one lighting designer that was female. I have worked with one lighting technician. No sound technicians, ever. I have worked on so many productions. Once I've worked with a male stage manager. Other than that, they're all female. They're statistics, they're just bald facts. How much talent have we lost to chauvinism? How much talent have we lost to sexism? Why were we offered a debate? Why aren't we being offered an apology? Because if any institution, let alone a national theatre, something that's funded by the public, anything was homophobic or racist, they'd be shot down. But sexism is still being considered a petty crime.
We call it the Equality for Women Artists. Our three campaign objectives are a sustained policy for inclusion with an action plan and measurable results, equal championing and advancement of women artists, and economic parity for all working in the theatre. Thank you.
My name's Amanda Green. This is Lloyd Suh and Georgia Stitt, and inspired by the theme of activism tonight, I wrote this song inspired by, nay, stolen from, Bob Dylan. How many great plays must one woman write before she's as good as a man? Yes, and if she directs, but she seldom gets hired, well, is that just part of God's plan?
Lily time again.
How much more love must a man give me before someone calls it unfair? Yes, and how many kids must a mother turn down when theaters won't help with child care? Yes, and how many slaps must she take on the ass when she like to complain but won't dare? That's why, my friend, it's Lily time again. That's why it's Lily time again. For the rights women fought for in decades gone by, our debts never can be repaid. Gloria Steinem. And we cheer for the progress we made. Yes, and how many times must we fight for this shit so they don't overturn Roe v. Wade? That's why, my friend, it's Lily time again. That's why it's Lily time again. That's why, my friend, it's Lily time again. That's why it's Lily time again.
I'm Julia. The Lillys are very excited to be planning a summit in Dublin with these women from Waking the Feminists and their British counterparts, and I'm so proud to present the first International Lilly Award to the women of Waking the Feminists. Please welcome Sarah Durkin and Lisa Tierney-Keogh.
Okay. Hello. It's an absolute honor to be here amongst such ridiculously talented and inspiring people. My name is Lisa Tierney-Keogh. I am a playwright and proud member of #WakingTheFeminists. 6 months ago, I did not know what a hashtag was. I thought Twitter was a weird foreign land where people wrote fortune cookie-length brains on it, and Facebook was a place I could post videos of cats attacking toddlers. I never, in my wildest dreams, imagined that it could be used to mobilize an entire movement for equality. Waking the Feminists has awakened a force in Ireland that is spreading globally. Joining hands with the Lilly Awards and the phenomenal work you are doing is exhilarating. To be part of the ruckus in our corner of the world is personally one of the most rewarding and inspiring experiences of my life. It is an honor to represent Waking the Feminists, to receive this award, but it must be said that the honor is ours too. We'd like to thank Julia and Marcia and everyone at the Lilly Awards for honoring us and for generally being amazing human beings. I would like to thank Lean Bell, our fearless founder, Sarah Durkin, and every person involved with Waking the Feminists for the hope and inspiration you give every day. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you here tonight for not being quiet the next time you see inequality in your theatre, in your rehearsal room, or on your set. Thank you for calling it out. Thank you for being the rising tide that is lifting the boats.
And thanks to Lisa, who is in charge of our New York chapter. Waking the Feminists' aim is simple: equality for women in Irish theatre. We understand the causes are structural and systemic. The theatre community is small, but its reach is wide.
And we hope that what we will achieve will impact around the world. These two great theatrical islands of ours coexist in a global community, connected together, and we will achieve gender equality faster by working together. Everyone at every level in the theatre needs to engage with this movement. We are working with our own sector in Ireland to create policies, and from those policies we must see action, and from those actions we must see results, sooner rather than later. Our deadline is 5 years to achieve full gender equality. Looking out from the Abbey stage that day, I was shocked by the depth of feeling, by the anger expressed with such dignity, by the sheer number of women of all ages who are affected by gender inequality. I saw Gary Hines, the first woman to win a Tony for directing. I saw women just starting out in their careers. And I saw many well-known women from stage and screen who I hadn't seen working in years. I was furious at the full realization of what we had all lost and what we all continue to lose, artists and audiences alike. Anger burns short, but determination burns long. And the core group of Waking the Feminists, working week on week to drive the campaign, are fueled by that determination. Women of the theatre, whether in Ballina, Baltimore or Berlin, will no longer fade into the wings. We will no longer be told, wait, not ready, not good enough, not yet. We will not wait. Our audiences will not wait. The time for action, the time for equality is now. Thank you.
Please welcome Academy Award winner, Tony Award nominee, Lupita N'yongo, and the cast of Eclipse.
This year, the Lilly Award in Playwriting goes to Danai, Gurira. Danai's powerful play, Eclipse, is running on Broadway now, and we are all lucky enough to be in this brilliant Tony-nominated work.
Danai's activism is not limited to her plays. In Zimbabwe, where Danai grew up, she co-founded the Almasi Arts, which provides opportunities for local theater artists. I'm short. Danai has also worked tirelessly to make sure we never forget abducted girls all over the world. Though 2 of the Chibok schoolgirls have just been found, over 200 girls kidnapped by the Boko Haram are still missing.
With all this in mind, the Lilly Awards are proud to present this year's award in playwriting to our friend, our guiding light, Danai Gurira.
Currently at this moment, as I stay in the moment, I'm filled with outrage, which is a good thing. It means I need to go right. On the video we just watched, she said, think of all the chauvinism that has caused the loss of our talent. And that made me really mad. really mad. I want to thank the Lilly Awards for this affirmation of my voice and my efforts. I remember coming to the Lilly Awards, I think it was its inaugural year. It was probably 7 years ago. And I was a guest, I was a +1 of, it was awesome though. I was a +1 of Sarah Treen, an amazing playwright and now the amazing creator of The Affair. I sat amongst these rows, it might have been a Playwrights back then, I don't know. Yeah. I sat in that theater and watched these amazing women on stage affirm our efforts and our voices. And I was so inspired by them. I remember Sarah Rule spoke of how she was exhausted. She was breastfeeding intermittently throughout the whole thing. And I remember Lynn Nottage up there. And I remember feeling very, very affirmed as a young writer, looking at them and feeling the warmth and the power and the activism in this room. I remember Julia reading several statistics that filled me with more and more outrage. And then I was just a fly on the wall of the event. I felt very thankful to be here. But then I remember walking outside, and I had never met her before. I thought she was amazing. She was very celebrated. But Sarah Rule was introduced to me, and she told me she had just read my play, Eclipsed. And she told me how she thought it was beautiful and powerful and important. And at the time, I didn't know that the world felt that way about the work or the effort. And I remember being filled with so much hope, inspiration, and fuel to know I was on the right track and I was doing the right thing. And even though the world might not tell you so all the time. So what I've realized lately is that the spirit of what I feel in me as I've been walking through this road with these plays is that of making sure, as Sarah did that day, that those coming behind me are validated. That those girls coming behind me that might not know what AD would pick up the phone or pick up their script, or those girls who might not know where they're going to get the next job from, or how they're going to get around that male in front of them who keeps stopping them from getting to their destiny, or so they feel, or so they experience. So I really wanted to speak to those girls who are coming up behind me as a way of doing what I think the Lilly Awards does so well, which is really making sure we know we are important, we are vital, we are crucial, we are here. So I brought two girls today, Ebony and Imani, from Girl Be Heard, which is an amazing organization that allows young girls to battle their struggles through writing and performance and speak to the world. I met them, this organization, in London at a conference for sexual violence and conflict, where the attempts to stop that from happening, the things that happened in Eclipse, were being made. And I saw them perform pieces that blew me away, and I said, these girls must receive as much support as I can give them. So I want to speak to young girls like you, because you are the reason I do all I should do. You are the next generation. Your voices are so valuable and so important, and we have to have them, or where are we going to go? So I just have a few things I want to share with them as I learned along the way to make sure that I pass on what I have been so graciously given. Firstly, young female artists, have a vision. Identify your outrage, the lack that is unjustifiable in what narratives are yet to be told. Embrace that burden on your heart to get that story told. That burden is a blessing. Then get to work. No excuses. No one in the world can do what you can do. Tell the story the way you only can tell it. So don't deprive the world of your uniqueness. This is a big one. Go where you are loved. How many times do I have to learn that? And how often do I meet other young writers who speak of how this avenue and this artistic director and this agent didn't see something through, didn't respond the way they'd hoped and desired. Don't let disappointment stop you. Go where you are loved, where your voice is embraced, your vision is respected. It may not be where you expected or where you hoped, but it may just be where you grow and are nurtured as a writer and an artist. It may just be where your breakthrough comes to pass. Don't let disappointment take hold. It is really asinine to creativity. It is poison to your creativity, rather. Stick to your vision and trust the right support will emerge if you keep doing your thing and putting yourself out there. And lastly, be a finisher. Get it done. All the way. Embrace the right collaborators and get it done. It's not for you. It's for all those other young female writers out there who will be blessed and inspired by your product. It's for all the women you will employ. It's for those whose light will shine as a result of the excellence you pursued when you put those words on the page. And it's for the legacy you assist in building that annihilates the concept that women's narratives are weak, rare, or unprofitable. So to the young women writers and creators in this room, I speak over you the same affirmation and validation Sarah gave me that day. And I so look forward to continuing to celebrate you. Thank you again to the Lilly Awards. You are a deeply vital institution. Thank you for embracing and affirming my efforts.
Please welcome Lilly Award winner and director of so many things, including the American Repertory Theatre in Cambridge, Tony Award winner Diane Paulus.
Jessie Mueller has brought us the stories of two astonishing women in the last 5 years, Carol Kane and Adrienne Shelly. The Lillys are proud to recognize the clarity and boldness of her work, bringing these pioneers, these women warriors, onto the Broadway stage. Adrienne Shelly's 2000 film Waitress tells the story of Jenna, a working-class waitress and expert pie maker stuck in a loveless marriage who finally finds the courage to free herself from an abusive relationship. The story of a woman overcoming domestic violence is a vital and pressing one that affects millions of people each year. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 women in the United States have been physically abused by an intimate partner. The cover of the Arts and Leisure section 2 weeks ago was an article entitled "The Year Broadway Broke Through," in which New York Times theater critics Ben Brantley and Charles Isherwood and editor Scott Heller discussed how it was a strikingly diverse, unusually urgent season. Sexual and domestic violence must not be urgent issues, since in their discussion there was not one mention of this theme that has been an integral part of our Broadway season this year, exhibited in many productions, including The Color Purple, Eclipsed, Spring Awakening, Bright Star, Blackbird, and Waitress. Furthermore, of the artists working on Broadway this season, their conversation cites 10 male artists by name, directors, writers, actors, and choreographers, in contrast to only 1 female artist who is mentioned by name. Okay, she's fierce, Audra McDonald. Female artists are significantly underrepresented on Broadway, and women's stories are quick to be brushed under the rug by the media. It's time that we recognize the incredible artists, many of whom are in this room tonight, who are telling these stories in impactful ways. On the opening weekend of Waitress, we found a note pinned to the wall in our lobby installation at the Brooks Atkinson's Theater. It read, "Thank you for saving my life. I left my abusive relationship because of this show." This was because of your performance, Jessie. You have brought this human story to life with stunning urgency and a beautiful authenticity true to the messiness we all experience in life. The Lilly Awards are grateful for the continuing grace and power of Jessie Mueller's work on the American stage, and we proudly present her with this year's Lilly Award in acting.
Thank you. I'm a little verklempt. I'm really tired. I'm really sick of wearing dresses and heels. But I'm so... Oh my God. I'm so humbled. I feel like I have no right to be up here with all the people that are out here and the work that's being done. I've never thought of myself as a feminist or doing anything feminine. And I'm not very good with words, which is, I guess, why I like to pretend to be other people and depend on people like Adrienne Shelley and Jessie Nelson to tell me what to say. But I am floored by the response of people that have seen Waitress, and like the note Diane read, she told me about that. And we got to work with a wonderful organization when we were rehearsing called Savvy. I don't know if anybody knows about it. It's through Mount Sinai Hospital. And sexual assault and violence intervention, and they have a team of volunteers. If you have a problem, you can call somebody. They can meet you on the street corner. You can say, I have a bag. I just left my home. They work with people that come into emergency rooms who have experienced sexual violence because a lot of the doctors aren't equipped to help them with their heads and their hearts at that moment. And these people come in and they save people. I think one of the most important things we can do, the theater is there to help and to heal, and everybody's stories deserve to be heard. Women's stories can help and heal just as much as men's. So thank you to the Lilly Awards for making this important and making this in people's line of vision. I've always felt so fortunate in the roles that I've been able to do. I just have been drawn to these very wonderfully powerful and messy women, and I've been entrusted to portray people like that, and I just feel so blessed. I feel like there's so much inequality that I have never had to deal with, but I know that it is a very real thing and something we need to keep fighting for. So thank you to everybody here, and I'm also just glad to be in a room full of women supporting each other, because that doesn't happen all the time, especially in this business. So thank you so much. I'm really, really humbled by this. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Obie Award winner Russell G. Jones.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about my friend Kate Wariski. It says, directors do not just stand around telling actors where to stand. Directors help writers to see what they've written. They help actors to understand what they're meant to play, and they help the entire team grasp what we all as one soul want to bring to the audience. Kate Wariski is an official, major presence in the world of directing. From Shakespeare to the work of Lynn Nottage, she has brought audiences into close contact with people they would otherwise not even know existed on this planet. It's as if she is determined to get American audiences aware of the world. And she has been doing this for a long time. I'm glad to see that she's getting a little respect, because she's the one. She got a note here from Lynn Nottage. It says, I wish I could be there to fetch you, Kate. Thank you for being such a dear friend, a trusted collaborator, and my sister in this artistic marathon. As a director, I appreciate that you bring great clarity and vision to all your projects. And I apologize for dragging you to unusual corners of this creative universe to find inspiration, but I thank you for being so game. She says, you dive into your work with all your heart, and you're always willing to wade into dark, unruly territory to find truth and beauty, even in the most mundane of moments. Boston tough, uncompromising and generous, You make your collaborators feel safe and cared for as artists. And I feel eternally thankful that our paths crossed at just the right moment in our creative lives. It would have been tough finding my way through the thicket without your support. Congratulations, a well-deserved honor for a brilliant director. So for her artistry and her activism, the Lilly Award in directing goes to Kate Worsley.
Thank you. It's very exciting to be here. I've never been here before, so I'm really happy. And I wanted to thank Marcia and Julia for founding this idea and for acknowledging a gap and celebrating everybody. So thank you very much. It's wonderful to be in a room with people who formed this community. I wanted to have a little conversation with you about the nature of community and what women can do for each other. In 2008, I had one of the most difficult conversations I ever had with Lynn Nottage. And I took her out to dinner, and I knew that I had to tell her something that I felt like would end our working relationship. We agreed to meet uptown, and we spent the time between appetizers and desserts talking about anything that I could think of that was not the subject at hand. And I told her, various things about theater and gossip. I was really, so my heart was pumping. And she then starts to drive the conversation to Notes on Ruined, and I stopped her and I said, Lynn, and she said, no. And you have to understand, we've been working on Ruined for 5 years. We had traveled to Uganda, we had done endless workshops. And I had to tell her that I couldn't do it. And I blurted out, Lynn, I'm pregnant. The baby is due in 5 weeks before we start rehearsal. I can't. And she stopped me, interrupted, and says, without a breath, well, congratulations. Welcome to the world of working mothers. I got home to my husband, and he asked how it went, knowing that it was an emotional time for me, and I dumbfoundedly said, well, I think I'm still doing it. When I look back over the last decade, I recognize what a defining moment that was for me. In some way, Lynn made clear that who we love, who we make our family, and what we say on stage is all of a piece. That we are responsible to those we love, and that responsibility translates to who and what we see on stage. Getting this award is now significant to me. In this election process, where floodgates of hate speech are being unleashed, I'm honored to be part of a community that is in pursuit of strengthening the underrepresented voice, diminishing the hardening of our culture, and deepening our sense of empathy. Thank you, Russell, for your kind words and friendship over the years. Thank you to the many women I have had the opportunity to collaborate with, including Julia Cho, Sarah Rule, Paula Vogel. And thank you, Lynn, for the generosity as we share motherhood and theater together. And a deep thanks to my family, Daniel, Rory, and August, who are my northern light in defining what is significant to the stage.
My kids are here tonight, first time, exciting for me. So after Kate's speech, this is perfect timing. Last summer, the Lilly Awards began rolling out a child care initiative, a model camp where women who are both writers and mothers could bring their families and actually get work done, and have happy children. We are determined that one day every colony, play lab, and theater will have a child care policy, so that never again will a woman writer have to choose between advancing her work and taking care of her children. Please welcome Emily Simonis speaking on behalf of Space Camp at Writer Farm.
Hi, and thank you, Julia. As Julia said, my name is Emily Simonis, and I am the founder and executive director of Space on Writer Farm. For those of you who don't know it, we are an artist residency program housed on a working organic farm about an hour north of New York City. And last year we had the supreme pleasure of partnering with the Lillies on our first ever family residency that aimed to, 1, give working moms time and space to work on their art, 2, gave their kids time and space to be outdoors and play with other kids and be supervised by some education professionals, and 3, to have time to be together as a family. And it went swimmingly. I'm going to read a quote from one of our residents, Stephanie Zavracek, who I think is here tonight. She says, "It was such a gift. For once leaving the city to focus on writing didn't mean abandoning my family. Nor was it a logistical nightmare of lining up sitters, pickups, and drop-offs. We all escaped for a week. The impact on my work was immediate, but the impact on my son has been lasting. He talks about the farm all the time and keeps a small tree branch he collected there by his bed," which I think is so sweet and is demonstrative, I think, of the experience. So we came back after last year, and Julia and I and Marcia talked about, what we should do this year. And so we opened up an application process. And I just want to say that the level of applicants and the amount of applicants and the way that these applicants talked about their kids and talked about their relationship between their work and their children was sublime. It was really, really incredible. I'm losing my thought because it was so beautiful. Oh, there we go, I know where it is now. One of the pervasive threads was this notion that, I haven't applied for an opportunity like this in 3 years, or I haven't applied for an opportunity like this in 5 years, or I haven't applied for an opportunity like this in 7 years. Because my mom, or because I thought I wasn't invited, or because somewhere along the line I made a choice to pick my kids over a residency program. And we're here to say that that's not what you need to do going forward. If I could take those applications and make a coffee table book about why this is so important, I would. So I'm going to announce the 2016 residents, which are Deepa Perot, Beth Nixon, Louisa Thomas Pregerson, Georgia Stitt, Sarah Rule, and their children. And I'm going to end by saying that if you're a working mother, you should apply next year. And most importantly, thank you so much to the Lilly Awards for being such tremendous supporters of this initiative, for always being ahead of the curve. If it weren't for you, I don't think I would be standing up here. So thank you so much.
Now in your program, you're going to find an envelope. Don't look now. The envelope is for money that you might want to put in that envelope to help send a kid to space camp this next year. We just remember that, and let's go on. Just for your head. So here to present the Leah Ryan Prize is Lilly board member Kuti Crabb.
So it's my great pleasure to be on both the board of the Lillies and the board of the Leah Ryan Prize, which honors the memory of my dear friend. I met Leah at Juilliard in the playwriting program where Chris and Marcia were our teachers. She was funny and honest and an irreverent writer of plays, essays, and postmodern greeting cards. To my mind, Leah embodied what it means to be a modern woman of letters. She was infinitely curious and brave in her work and how she chose to live her life. When she died of leukemia in 2008, her friends and family created a foundation to honor her work and her extraordinarily generous spirit. Each year, we award an emerging female playwright with $2,500, which I have here, I almost forgot it, and a professional reading of their play, and we give the award to her here at the Lillies. This year we're partnering with Primary Stages and New York Stage and Film, so the prize winner will be able to workshop her play over the summer in preparation for reading in September. And also this year, the foundation, through the Authors Guild, gave $5,000 to a writer facing a serious illness. Before she died, Leah specifically requested we try and help writers in any way we could. So she too was an advocate. Since the theme of this year's board is advocacy and activism, I would encourage you all to think about how you can be actively generous to one another in both ways, large and small. There's a lot of people doing large things here, but we can all try to do it in our small ways. It can be very tough in this business to lead with an open heart, but I urge you to take a cue from Leah, who in her darkest hours was thinking about ways she could make writers' lives a little bit better. So, in that spirit of generosity, I am thrilled. Jenny, so I am thrilled to present the Leah Ryan Prize to Jenny Murphy for her wildly original and theatrical play, Giantess. Giantess is a play about complicated bodies, choices, and leaps of understanding we make when we love someone who is seemingly very different from us. In this play, when Dee hears a mysterious noise in the abandoned glass factory behind her house, she discovers a lost girl her own age with amnesia who happens to be 30 feet tall. Dee and the giantess try to figure out who she is, where she came from, and the nature of their deepening connection to one another. Their story travels through time and space in unexpected ways that are moving, funny, and always surprising. Jenny just finished her first year at Yale Drama School, and I don't like to boast, but this prize tends to be a sign of very good things to come. So, I strongly urge all of you who make plays happen to hunt Jenny down in the bar after the show and read this play and come to her reading in the fall. She has a truly original and fresh voice, and I want to see her plays living and breathing on stages all around the country. Jenny, on behalf of the board and the Lillies and the reading committee, congratulations.
This is wonderful and also very surreal. Because I'm a playwright, I would much prefer to be sitting in the dark audience right now than being on stage, but since I'm here, I would just like to thank everyone, and it's a huge honor to share company tonight with so many exceptional women, artists and leaders who push forward the art form, the industry, and bring important stories and ideas into public discourse. I must thank the Leah Ryan Fund for emerging women writers for this prize and this platform. Like many women playwrights, I have struggled with the not unreasonable fear that my plays might not find a place on stage in the American theater. At times it's been hard to quell these fears when writing, to keep pushing forward an idea, a character, a world. As an early career writer, I realize it is critical to find real allies and collaborators, and I feel so lucky to be connected with the Leah Ryan Fund and for your support and your guidance moving forward. A big thanks as well to the board and staff of the Lilly Awards for creating and hosting this amazing event and bringing so many talented and forward-thinking women into one room. I also would really love to acknowledge those who helped get me here. Philadelphia Young Playwrights, or PYP, is an arts educational organization, a very dynamic one, in my home city of Philadelphia. I wrote my first play for PYP when I was in high school, and I later joined the staff as their general manager and also as an in-class teaching artist and dramaturg working with student playwrights in elementary, middle, and high school. PYP helped to shape my understanding of theater as an art form that is evocative and deeply human, and one that has the potential to engage audiences and communities together in big ideas. I also want to thank my family, both the family I was born into and my queer family, for their love, support, and smart counsel. You've helped to shape my brain, my heart, my spirit, and encouraged me to engage both the political and the personal in my work. And thanks also to all the teachers in my life. My recent mentors, Jeannie O'Hare and Sarah Rule, as well as my college and high school writing teachers, Anton Dudley and Ms. Schroeder, and also to like really go back in time, my second grade teacher, Teacher Penny, who told me not to worry about my terrible handwriting or my inventive spelling, and just to write and write every day. And I'm also the daughter of two very amazing teachers, my parents, Marianne D'Amico and Frank Murphy, who are here somewhere. Mom and Pop, I love you very much. You are such deep thinkers, passionate educators, funny, humble, and the coolest people I know. And I'm grateful for your faith in me, your honesty, and your love. So thank you, and thank all of you.
Enjoying the walk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Sorry, Howard. I'm introducing the longest running Phantom of the Opera in history. It was also sung every other beautiful role written for a man, including my young show, The Secret Garden, 25 years ago. Here is our beloved Howard McGillin.
Great to be here. Martha Plimpton has been politically active since she was a teenager, marching for women's reproductive freedom in the 80s, in the 90s, and now, even now, when the battle is far from over. She has lobbied Congress on behalf of Planned Parenthood and has spoken out for women's reproductive rights at campuses and rallies all across this country, and I believe she will keep doing this for as long as it takes, God damn it. When I was asked, Amanda Green asked if I would present this award to Martha, I was so delighted and honored to be asked. I've known Martha for about 15 years now. We've been good friends. We've shared a lot of birthdays and holidays together. And I know her not only to be an artist of singular quality, but also ridiculously funny. Her wit and her passion for the world we live in and the causes that are dedicated to making it a better place make her a role model for us all. So it is my great pleasure to present the Lilly Award. In fact, I can think of no one more deserving for the award for speaking truth to power. Martha Plimpton.
I'm very grateful to you for those kind words and for being here and for your friendship over the years and your support. And thank you all so much. Thank you to the Lillies. And this is really extraordinary, and I'm a little nervous. I'm really astonished to be in all of these people's company, some of whom I know, many of whom I don't, but all of whom I respect and admire and am completely in awe of. Some of you I've worked with, and some of you I hope to work with. Many of you, all of you actually, if you'll have me, because it's hard out there for a chick. Thank you to Julia and Marcia for creating this organization, the entire board, for all of your hard work in encouraging and seeking out women of vision who so often struggle to be heard. This is, of course, a vitally important mission, as we all know, and I would like to add my own voice to the chorus of those who are so grateful to you all for the work that you do and the voices that you help to amplify in the theater and beyond. In this particular election year, regardless where each of us may stand politically, although I have a feeling in this room we're pretty safe. I think it's safe to say that issues of representation and visibility are a central theme in the public discussion over who it is we feel should lead us, who it is we feel silenced or marginalized by, and how it is that we should go about making our voices heard. Representation of diverse voices in the arts, in culture, and in political
and social life is essential to influencing the course we take not just in this election, but in life in general. And the stakes are incredibly high for all of us, but particularly for women, people of color, immigrants and refugees, children, LGBTQ Americans, and other members of our society whose most basic interests of survival and equality are under direct and constant threat, pretty much daily, around the world, and unfortunately here at home as well. And the voices of women of diverse experiences are necessary to telling these stories and bringing them to the attention of the nation. They develop our understanding of human nature and life, and they bring us closer to the empathic and intelligent society we all seek to live in. We can't afford not to listen to them, to amplify them, and to celebrate the courage it takes to do what so few others are willing to do, which is tell the stories of those without traditionally accepted paths to power. It's funny because I didn't know the name of this award, this Speaking Truth to Power thing, so it's funny that it's just coincidentally I just used the word power on the stage. Anyway, moving on. I am astonished and inspired by the creativity and courage of all of the women here today, and I do take a lesson from each of them, that every heart and mind is capable of reaching into every other heart and mind, those of strangers, and altering, even if only for a moment, the trajectory of a single life. And that is no small accomplishment. It is everything. All each of us has is one voice, and this moment, only this moment alone, which is in fact vast, eternal, and encompasses all of creation. In the advocacy work that we do for abortion rights with our organization, A is For, it's a little scarlet letter here, we are doing our part to amplify the voices of people who've been silenced and shamed for making decisions according to their own conscience. From the Rio Grande Valley, to the Mississippi Delta, to the prisons of El Salvador, where women risk imprisonment for up to 40 years for the crime of miscarriage, to the quickly disappearing clinics of Ohio and Florida and South Dakota, and all over the country really, these voices of the women most severely affected by abortion restrictions and prohibitions are rarely heard. It is our duty to give them a platform, a place to speak out, and in some cases, to speak out in their names when there is no other option, so that everyone will know the depth and the truth of their humanity, their dignity, their strength, and their right to live their lives as they see fit. I so appreciate everyone here who is dedicated to this mission of celebrating and encouraging women to speak up, to write from their own experiences, and to share those experiences with an audience that is truly hungry for more. I don't care what anybody says, they want it. They want it. So we better give it to them. I am eternally grateful for this recognition as well, as much as I know there is so much more work to do. And I stand in awe, absolute awe, of the beauty of these women here, and their minds, and their willingness to keep going, their perseverance in the face of systemic and cultural bigotry and bias. All praise goes to you writers, and you makers of art, you storytellers who are making the world's soul a fuller one, and altering the landscape for all those making their own paths alongside your example. In the words of the great Lorraine Hansberry, the thing that makes you exceptional, if you are at all, is inevitably that which must also make you lonely. Well, the Lillies are doing their part to make each of us feel a little less lonely, a little more heard, and a great deal more prepared to keep on going. Thank you so very much to you.
Every year, we honor one man, our Miss Lilly, complete with the tiara, sash, and flowers. This year calls for something more substantial.
Aren't you curious what this means? sometimes when something awful happens, you see someone set a heroic example, suffering through an unimaginable loss and coming out of it fighting hard. Norbert Leo Butz, famed Broadway funny man, has done just that. Will you join me? He created the Angel Band Project in memory of his sister to address the scourge of sexual violence against women. We thank you, Norbert. We need you. Take our love and our joy and $5,000 to helping survivors of abuse. A man who fights for women is a real man.
Please. Oh my God. Speechless when I have to make a speech. That's unfortunate. Rachel, would you come up and join me? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rachel Ebeling, the actual founder. I'm a board member. I'm a co-founder, but this is Rachel Ebeling, who is the true founder of the Angel Band Project. So, my name is Norbert. I am a feminist, and I wish, as honored as I am to be receiving this award as badly as we need this $5,000 for organization, I wish to God, if I have to just speak the truth, that I weren't here tonight. The reasons the circumstance that brought me to this podium right now are unspeakable. There's no speech behind them, but as Rachel and I have learned, there's music behind them, there's art behind them, which is what we're doing here and what this organization represents. On the night of July 19th in 2009, my sister Teresa, 2 years younger than myself, one of my dearest friends, was along with her fiancé just weeks from their wedding. She was a proud lesbian. They were attacked in their home in Seattle, in Kings County, Seattle, for over 2 hours by an assailant at knife point. They were raped in every room of their home. My sister began to demand dignity in her ordeal, managed to fight him off just enough to save her partner's life. She got out of her home. She died naked on her front lawn in the arms of a 17-year-old girl who was her neighbor. This event, the loss of my sister meant the loss of many things in my life. And it's the nature of sexual violence, these crimes. There are far-reaching implications in why we must continue to fight to eradicate crimes against women. I have 3 daughters of my own. The statistic 1 in 4 women being sexually abused on a college campus was a statistic that got a whole new meaning for me after my 3rd daughter was born. I thought, wow, if I had 1 more, I'd really be screwed. And that did not sit well with me. My girls were 13 and 11 when their beloved aunt was taken. In their teenage years, they have both suffered through eating disorders, self-harm, and drug issues. My mother, who was never allowed to touch her daughter, when you're a victim of a crime like this, your body becomes, it belongs to the state. It's proof. My mom has never recovered from the fact that she was never able to clean my sister. She wasn't ever able. There she is, Teresa. You're still right on the check. She's like, get on with it. You've said this story so many times. Within a year, I had to seek help in a drug and alcohol program because I was drinking myself into a stupor each night, unable to deal with my own trauma. 7 years sobriety and counting. Thank you very much. At her funeral, I'm from a family of singers and performers. I'm one of 11 children. Teresa was the 9th, I'm the 7th. We didn't have a lot of money. We were sort of like the Von Trapps, kind of with a little coal miner's daughter thrown in, and just a touch of sort of Osborne family there too. We always sang together. We always harmonized at Teresa's funeral. We sang. No one could speak. All we did was weep. And we sang. We were able to get out these hymns that we all grew up singing. Rachel Ebling has been best friends with Teresa since they were in kindergarten. She and her other best friend had a vision after we left the memorial service. And then we had another memorial service in Seattle. We all got together and sang some more. We pulled out guitars and just played her favorite songs. This amazing thing started happening. People started talking about the event. People started feeling. People started expressing their grief. People started coming together. Rachel posed the idea of the Angel Band Project, which is an organization that exists in St. Louis, Missouri. What if we made a CD based on the music that we had created at her memorial services? We started a 501c3, and to date we have music therapists that work with survivors through songwriting workshops. We're servicing 200 women in St. Louis, Missouri right now. Another branch is starting in Seattle, Washington. We have great hopes for this organization. We do something called a virtual choir. This is a brilliant idea. How do we connect women, these women who are silenced with this trauma? How do we get them together, singing with each other, trying to make music? Through technology, they're able to Skype women in through and singing with a live choir, wearing headpieces and microphones, monitors in their ear, and amazing things have started to happen. So that's where this money, your money, this organization's money is going to help. Not long after my sister died, 2 other interesting events happened in my life. My wife, who's a brilliant actor, we met doing Wicked. Actually, we met doing a Julia Jordan reading. Julia Jordan is responsible for Michelle and I. Smoking lessons. I also just have to say, I was honored to do a play with Kate Wariski. It was the greatest theater experience of my New York career. She directed me in How I Learned to Drive. Amazing director. Congratulations, Kate. My wife was a wonderful ingenue, and then she started playing moms at, the way you ladies do at 33, starting to play moms of teenage girls. And then did three roles on 3 procedurals in which she played moms and then corpses. My wife played 3 corpses in television before she went into semi-retirement. I was given 2 scripts that pilot season after Teresa died, in which one was to participate in a sexual crime against a woman, another one investigate one. Both of my daughters came home from their high school cafeterias saying, we can't eat in the cafeteria anymore, we're getting too harassed by the boys in the cafeteria in their public high school. So what the fuck is going on here, man? I was like, and how was I blind to this my whole life? And then it dawned on me, women have known this all along, right? I was just getting a glimpse into the world, and I was horrified by what I saw. So I'm going to keep on singing. I sing the concerts for the Angel Band Project. We're having one in New York. We'll keep you guys posted when it's coming along. We try to raise money through the concerts, and that goes to help these music therapy programs. I'm really honored to be here and be in the company of this incredible room. Thank you, Ms. Steinem. We've taken so much inspiration from you. This organization has really been built on a lot of your ethics. I just want to personally say thank you. And I want to give the mic to Rachel Ebling just for a second. She's the heart and soul of this organization. Thank you so much.
I just want to make a couple quick thank yous. Can't really believe that I'm here to represent the Angel Band all the way from St. Louis on this stage tonight. Thank you to the Lilly Awards for giving us this wonderful gift, because this money will go directly to impact survivors that we work with. And secondly, Norbert, I mean, we were all left speechless after Teresa died. And, you know, it was really hard to kind of pick up those pieces and figure out, okay, how are we really going to move on with this reality? And Norbert was one of the first ones that I kind of just cried on his shoulder and said, can we do this thing? Can we sing and make this music have a bigger purpose than what it is for us? And he represents men in this movement, because we cannot end violence against women until the men start stepping up and helping us end that. So Norbert has taken that stand, and that's huge. And I just want to say that all the voices here, I mean, all of these wonderful women are using their voices either on stage or directing others on stage or writing their thoughts down. And it's so important to use our voices, because I didn't know as a stay-at-home mom 7 years ago that my world would be turned upside down when Teresa exited, and I get to use my voice to stand up for women whose voices have been silenced. And because of that, Teresa has given me an amazing gift to share with others. So for all of you, thank you for using your voices. And for the young people here, your voices matter the most, so use them. Thank you.
Please welcome Neena Beber, previous winner of the Stacy Menage Write a Play Award.
The Stacy Menage Prize is not just $25,000. It says cause for laughter, I think, because that's a lot of money, Diane. But it isn't just that. It's an invitation into a group of writers whom Stacy has commanded to go write a play. Someone out there cares and will feed you, literally. Stacy gathers everyone who's won into her vision of, as Gloria Steinem, I like to quote, has said, women who we are all linked, not ranked. Not only that, we get to call Stacy whenever we're confused. Well, maybe not every time we're confused, but from here on in, Stacy will encourage you, she will inspire you, she will in every way be your champion. This year's winner is Rihanna Lou Mirza. Not the money. She has had readings everywhere, established Asian American companies everywhere, received awards from everyone. Now the Lillies. Has an MFA in Revolution from Columbia. Wait, I'm sorry, an MFA in Playwriting from Columbia. She was a co-founder of the Ma Yi Writers Lab and is a brand new mom. Her baby is 1 month old. And one thing Stacy wanted to make clear is that writers are moms are writers. So here you are, Rihanna. Here is your check now. Go write a play.
I'm emotional from everything that's preceded this moment, but when I got the news about this award, I was sitting with my 1-month-old child, and one of us was curled up in fetal position, and the other was crying that their career was over. We live in a 2-playwright household, and my husband, Mike Lou, and I would often joke that we're doubly fucked. Double the rejections with half the bank account. And as a woman, apparently I get 2/3 of those rejections and 1/3 of the bank account. It's easy to feel forgotten as a woman of color in the theater. And in a year, which a lot of people have mentioned, where politicians are spinning hateful narratives about Muslims and POCs, which is personal to me, it feels easy to feel not just forgotten, but downright unwelcome. So I try to address some of that in my plays. But what I can't address is how to survive in the industry with a baby. When we started this family, I was worried people would assume I'd give up writing for the baby, or that when I would accompany Mike to his productions, theaters would mistake me for the nanny instead of acknowledge me as a playwright. So before giving birth, Mike and I emailed all the playwright parents, the greats who came before us, and asked, is it totally crazy to start a family when I'm still emerging? And how do I keep people from assuming shit when I say I'm a mother, wife, or a writer with lady bits? And our icons all took the time to write back and say, it's really, really hard, but you won't fail. You won't fade away. What I didn't realize, what my aunt said was that you won't fade away because we won't let you. So to my son who is in the audience, I say, take a look around you. I know it's hard because you're only like a month old. And you're probably asleep, but I want you to realize that you are in a room filled with game changers. People who understand the power of storytelling and are working to show the full breadth of the human experience and who are making room for complex identities. And I want you to be as thankful and grateful to all of them as I am, especially to the Lillys for creating a different narrative, for firmly saying, we hear you, we see you, you are welcome here.
To acknowledge a special person who is visiting, one of the special people that are here with us tonight. In lieu of the fact that this year the Lilly Awards, as you were hearing up here, we're going to be giving out nearly $70,000 in gifts to writers. Wow. And people have perhaps wondered if that works, if that's a good idea. Is it a good idea to give money to writers? So I want to acknowledge, and if you will please stand, Joy Brown, Joy and Michael Brown gave, hold on, you don't even know what they did. Joy and Michael Brown gave Harper Lee a year of income in order to write To Kill a Mockingbird.
Given to writers can change the world, you have no doubt. I also want to recognize George Landegger, who is here tonight, who is the executor of Harper Lee's estate, and welcome him into the family of men that are looking out for women and women writers and making sure that that we have access to the microphones and access to the world that's waiting to hear from us. Thank you very much, George. Thank you very much.
Ms. Jordan, will you have the stage, please?
Okay. The New York Women's Foundation supports women in their struggle to make a living and live in safety. Their new grant to the Lilly Awards is designed to raise the visibility of and opportunities for a young artist. This year, we are using it to create a paid apprenticeship for a director to be mentored by the amazing Rachel Shadkin. Rachel couldn't be here tonight because she's opening her own show downtown at New York Theater Workshop. And so it is my great pleasure to present the New York Women's Foundation Lilly Award of $15,000 to Candace Jones.
Oh my God, I mean, this is just mayonnaise. I'm just on a stage with complete badassery, first of all. Surrounded by such support and love. It's just overwhelming. And even before she was gonna announce my name, I'm like, who? You know, I'm looking for the person that I am, and I am here, and it's amazing. This is me. Hello. It is really an honor to receive this grant from the New York Women's Foundation. I regard the theater as an act of faith where we ask audiences to believe in the unseen and the theatricality of magic. Thank you to Julia, Rachel, and friends and family for being here and supporting me. And to my family above, again, thank you again to the New York Women's Foundation for believing in me and having faith in me as an emerging director. Also, our Kitty and Ro here. Kitty, where are you? Can you raise your hand? Kitty and Ro, I actually, I met Julia through babysitting her, Kitty and Ro, as she went to see a view from the bridge one night. And obviously, Julia recognized the special in me as I really recognized the amazing imagination that Miss Kitty has. It's a pleasure to work with them. And again, just thank you for the love and support of young emerging artists. We really need your love and your resources, and it does not go unnoticed that you have wrapped your arms around me today. Thank you so much.
Beginning next year, the Daryl Roth, skipping that, sorry. Last year, after the Lilly's, award-winning producer Daryl Roth said she wanted to find a way to be a part of the Lilly's, like, for real. Tonight, she wants to announce her fantastic plan, so please welcome the legendary Daryl Roth.
I'm thrilled to be here, and I just wear my Lilly Award with great pride. I'm happy to be part of you all. And it's nice to be on the stage and look out, because producers are usually there looking this way, so it's fun. Anyway, I'm here to announce that beginning next year, the Creative Spirit Award, which is now in its 20th year, will be presented annually at the Lillys. It feels to me that this is the right place to dedicate this award, and it will honor a worthy woman of any age with the incentive and financial support to nurture her creative spirit in the field of theater design, which is wonderfully tied into the video tonight. I didn't even realize that it had that connection. So, sets, costumes, lighting, or sound. And this woman will have the opportunity to work with an accomplished mentor in her chosen field, and together they'll create a year-long apprenticeship where she can assist on 3 professional productions. So it's my hope that more women will think about careers in all areas of theater design and know that we are here to encourage them and help sustain them and offer an open door to the myriad of possibilities available. While my heart is with writers and directors and actors, I feel this is really a wonderful area that we have to commit to and support. And so it will be my pleasure to begin doing that next year. Thanks.
Now we need to take a moment to send out our appreciation and love to the woman who created the regional theater movement along with Margot Jones and a couple of guys. Clues? Anybody have an idea? A woman who co-founded the Arena Stage in DC and created the first racially integrated acting company in the United States, who also ran the acting department at NYU. Zelda Fichandler is not well and cannot be here tonight to get her medal. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to say her name in a festive way, and if you will clap really loud and yell things, that would be fantastic. It's going on tape, and then Todd London will take it to her. Are you ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3, ladies and gentlemen, Zelda Fichandler.
Trailblazer Award, please welcome Lloyd Suh, a new member of the Dramatists Guild Council.
When Mia Katikbak was at Barnard, she performed in the only roles that were deemed appropriate for her, maids and hookers. Well, one day she was invited to play the harpsichord in a Moliere play, and she thought, oh good, they see me. But no, she had to play her harpsichord from behind a curtain, because the director said there were no Asians in France at that time. Now, there are too many stories like this, and they happen even today. But now, when aspiring Asian American artists look to the stage for a reflection of themselves, when they look for their roles and their role models, they can see Mia, because she ripped that curtain down and she set it on fire. As the founder and artistic director of NATCO, the National Asian American Theater Company, she has produced over 25 years worth of visionary, revolutionary work that has nurtured generations of Asian American artists. She is not only one of the greatest actors in the world, but she is godmother to a revolution and a leading figure in the cultural history of Asian America. And she is one of the most important people in my life. And so it's my deep honor and privilege to be the one who gets to present the Lilly Trailblazer Award to Mia Katikbak.
Thank you very much to the Lillys for this honor. It has great meaning, especially coming at this particular and sometimes perplexing time of my life. For the past 25 years, NATCO has been working towards the improvement of Asian American representation in the theater so that we are in significant, central, multifaceted, complex, non-stereotypical roles on our stages. I know that change often happens in painfully slow increments, but I believe I was seeing some progress. But for the past 5 years, there seems to have been a huge backslide, an uptick in what I'll call irresponsible and careless casting when it comes to Asian Americans in theater and in film. Instances of exclusion and yellowface, which to me point to a severe backlash to our endeavors for equity and diversification, to our efforts to represent on stage a more accurate picture of what America looks like today. This turn of events will sometimes burden my heart and deflate my spirits. And yet, congruently, I have been given opportunities, outside of NATCO, of course, to portray just the kinds of characters that I advocate for Asian American actors. Almost all of these opportunities have been made possible by women. My recent run of good fortune began about 3 years ago when Melanie Joseph and Leah Ryan cast me as a god in Szechuan. And then Maria Stryer, who first, along with Peggy Stafford and Portia Krieger, let me be Karen Carley's Bubby, and then with Kate Ryan, let me be an owner of a card and gift shop somewhere in New Hampshire without having to explain how an Asian American got there. Next, Kate Benson, Leah Sunday Evans, and Susan Burnfield made me the matriarch of 4 generations of the most diverse family I've ever had the crazy fun to do on stage. And then Lisa McNulty joined in the fun in remounting this beautiful day in November. And then Lisa, Sarah Rule, and Kate Worski gave me the most wonderful gift of portraying Elizabeth Bishop. A few months ago, Claire Barron convinced me to play one of her alter egos, who would never love again. I have to say that special mention has to go to some guys. Jack Doolan and Jim Nicola, who I think was a previous Lilly awardee, Linda Chapman and Eva Van Hove, who made it possible for me to portray a mother of a character played by an African-American actor and a white one. And to Jack Cummings III, with whom I'm currently in rehearsals for the Transport Group production of I Remember Mama, which will be presented at Two River. You gotta check it out. It's 10 women of a certain age playing 25 roles, and I get to be a Norwegian American teenager, yo. I implore everyone who is here tonight, to get on this bandwagon. Let's make it a band truck, a band cruiser, a band jumbo jet. I promise you it will catapult American theater into the 21st century. And then there is the mother of all women, my mother, who is here today. She was a single mom since I was 11 and a working mom. And I will never forget, I don't know if you remember this, Mom, but I was doing one of those plays. It was actually one of these renegade groups on campus, and I did the maids, and I played Solange. And the day after, I visited Mom, and I recall this very, very clearly. I was standing in her kitchen in the early afternoon, and she very quietly walked up to me, and I turned around, and what I saw was, I swear, it was a mixture of equal parts pride, heartbreak, and worry. And she said, "You're good." And then she told me how important it was to do what meant the most to me, to do the thing that I was most passionate about. And then she warned me that it would most likely mean a hand-to-mouth existence. That was the first time I heard that phrase. And I have become very intimate with it. To this day, in fact. And then she gave me a talisman. It was the engagement ring that my father had given her. And I am here today, accepting this award because of her unconditional, unflagging, steadfast, endless love, faith, support, and encouragement. She is my hero. Thank you very much, Mama. And thank you very much to the Lillies.
After which you're going to put the money in those envelopes and you're going to give it to the women that are standing at the door, yeah? Okay. Yes? Okay. And now I am proud to bring to the Lilly stage the woman who gave our blessing in the first year of our life. My hero, our power player, our luminous ally and friend, Gloria Steinem.
Been a happier person than I am right now. I'm sitting there cavelling, and when I was in Toledo, I didn't even know what cavelling was. I have no idea what I'm going to say. It's a little risky because I just got off a plane from Australia, and this is my second Monday. But I've been sitting there just so happy and moved and knocked out, and it was just so wonderful. Do you think I could give an award to the Lilly Awards? Because you took control of award giving. How great is that? And I see, there's Ireland, there's Liberia, there's the world here. It feels as if this is the ultimate campfire. I mean, that's what we're really doing, right? Telling stories, sitting around a campfire as for the last 100,000 years. And unfortunately, some folks have been excluded from the campfire, and you are making it complete. And I am so grateful to you. Now, this is a great occasion for me. I get to give an award to a woman I married. You think I'm kidding? I married her, Dan. Okay, all right. Kathy has been in over 25 films and TV projects. She was Mae West on Broadway and starred in Dirty Blonde. She has performed on Broadway and at Madison Square Garden, but she is being honored here tonight for her life as an activist and advocate. She knew what mattered to her and she got involved. For over 18 years of AIDS activism, she has given the LA Gay and Lesbian Center's has been given the Center's Distinguished Achievement Award. She is tournament champion of the Bravo Celebrity Poker Showdown. She is the most fierce game player, all games. And she won $100,000 for V-Day and another $100,000 for at-risk teen girls as the first champion of the CBS Game Show Marathon. She has worked on a global scale, but I challenge all of you to become advocates and activists for the things that matter to us and to be inspired by Kathy in doing that. This is not only reflected in her own writing, producing, directing, all of it, but also in the help and the support and the innovation and the kindness she gives to everyone else. She is the mother of so many deep and important projects. And I want to say one word about laughter, because I think we don't give it its due. I figured out a couple of years ago that it's the only free emotion. You can compel fear, as we know. You can even compel love if someone is isolated and dependent for long enough. They become enmeshed with their captor. But you can't compel love. You can't compel laughter. It happens when two things come together suddenly and make a third. It happens when you learn something. It's kind of an orgasm of the mind. It's a moment of freedom. And in Native American, and I'm sure other first cultures, there is a god of laughter, because it is the path into the unknown. They say that you cannot pray until you have laughed. And I would like to say about Kathy that she brings us freedom in everything she does, and especially her inspiration of laughter. So for her fierce presence in our lives and on the front lines, and on the front lines of the rights of all humans to live in peace in their time, now, the Lilly Award in Activism goes to my dear friend, Kathy Mitchell.
Cowardly lion necklace. Yeah, thank you. There's my ass back there. Well, you know, I have to act like everything's okay because Gloria Steinem. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's every day. It's crazy. Okay, I've had the pleasure of being good friends with Gloria for over 25 years when she came backstage to the Kathy and Bob show and gave us her blessing and, you know, whatever you should need. And, and she did marry my husband and I, Dan. She married us. But to be perfectly candid, even though it's been 25 years, every time I'm around her, whether it be in her little womb of a living room eating cherries, or in this mind-boggling case, me being given an award by her, there is like this familiar jolt of like excitement, overexcitement that comes from my head, through my soul, and straight out my vagina. If you thought that, that's what that was. Thank you to the, so funny that I put on glasses because I literally have 26 size fonts.
Thank you to the good women of Lilly, Julia, Marcia, Teresa, Amanda, Chelsea, all of you for giving me a chance to be surrounded by, even uttered in the same breath as some of the women that we've seen on the stage. I mean, have you seen Eclipsed? Did you guys see it? Can you believe it? I took my daughter Samia, who is here tonight, and we were going to go backstage. We were so flooded with tears, we couldn't even waddle through our own wet to get back there. It was so, with tears of appreciation and just so moving. And Martha, who is a friend of mine, what she does with A is for, I'll tell you what A is for. A is for, are you fucking kidding me? To be in this business, right, as an actress, to have the courage to say any tiny public opinion is unheard of, let alone be the booming voice for reproductive rights. This woman is on network TV. She says the word abortion everywhere she goes. She had abortion printed on a dress she wore on a big thing, right? And she just got picked up for a second season. And you can tell it's like a real, I don't know which network, one of the ones with like real commercials. My new friend Amanda Green told me that I was getting an Actress Activist Award. Now, in my long but very moisturized life, I've received a few prizes here and there. I got Happiest Laugh in high school, which is, we all know, is translated to an award for the girl not considered happy as pretty. But other great satisfying awards, but my husband and my daughter know an honor from such a kick-ass organization dedicated to getting more great women hired and recognized, and they're fiercely committed to leveling the playing field, demanding parity for women in all aspects of this business, shining a light so that we can hear, see, and experience the all of women's art and rage and talent and voices, and get a prize handed to me by Gloria Steinem with the word activism in the title. That's good for me. You know, I was getting a colonic the other day. True story. I don't lie to my sisters. True story. And between Kegels, I was classy. Your mom's classy. I was thinking about, like, what really is an activist? And after, it's on my voicemail on my phone. After my third release, I said to my colon therapist, I said, so, Svetlana, maybe an activist is someone who just improves the little space that they take up before they split. And it felt good to, well, a lot of things felt weird. I'm not sure exactly where my activism started. Maybe when I refused to take off my legalized weed button, when I got kicked out of junior theater for it. The crazy thing is I've never smoked pot, ever. Or when Marge Bing and I got them to change the name in junior high school, got them to let women wear pants. They changed the dress code. Ironically, I never really do. But activism was a way to temporarily, for me, I don't know if y'all can relate to this, when things get so bad in your head, to temporarily mute the hideous voices screaming out in your gut at the state of things. It quiets the rage for just a minute. Rage of suffering and abuse, violence and rape, inequality, racism, shame, poverty, war, misogyny, homophobia, and hate. The things that just shred our insides. You know, when I see Donald Trump's face on my AOL feed page, yeah, AOL, keeping it real still. When I see every single day, you know, his face comes up, I do one of two things. I either inhale a brownie, or I plan a rally. Sometimes I do both. To believe we might be able to make a difference simply helps us get through the fucking day. So I want to, oh, and then maybe for us in this room, and especially the Lilly women, activism means we make a play, or we make a dance, or a poem, we direct a film, we write a book, or a speech, or a TV show, or a song, or in some rare chance we get to perform or create something that leaves this place where we stand a little bit better, a little bit fairer, and a little bit more fun. And if we get the chance, which we're changing now, it's not going to be so rare, to even jostle an opinion or an audience, to do any of these, that's a really good day for me. If I get to watch 3 Wheel of Fortunes in a row, have a bubble tea, and get a Grand Lilly Prize from Gloria Steinem, that is a really good day. This is a good day for me. Thank you so much.
Dinner, that's free. There's drinks, that's free. The show is free too. And so now this is the moment when, while everybody's walking out the door, if you could help us out with our mission, we would appreciate it if you would put your name, some money, a check, but whatever in that envelope. We would really appreciate that. And you know what we do with the money. You've seen it tonight. We give it all away. Thank you so much. And here, once again, is the Amanda Green Band.
You have the words here in your program, so when we get to the chorus, 1, 2, you know what to do.
And then we're out.
Yes, that's right. As I went looking